Hi there, my name is Ron, and we're going to play a round of golf with Jack Nicklaus at TPC Sawgrass using ASG Golf version 3.16. Basically it's a card and dice game, virtual card and dice, and we're doing a test round here. We're going to use the greatest ever, and of course that most of you know. So on the first tee, we're playing. Oh, by the way, it's the conditions are normal. It's normal greens. It's a Thursday pin, which are the reds. Rough should be rough. If you miss it, there's a good chance it will be a very difficult second or approach shot coming up. So we're playing with the modern rules. If you're familiar with the game at all, or if you're watching this later on YouTube, and so. Let's take a look at what the caddy is looking at here. The yellow bunkers you see are deep bunkers, which are not ones you want to be in. Jack, as you know, was a long golfer, and the aim point here is 312. I don't think I want to take the aim point. That would leave him a pitch at 107. I think I'm going to take my chances and go with the 3-wood and see what happens here. Alright, you ready? So here's his tee shot on the first hole. And he misses to the right in the bunker. The dice roll was a 5-6. A 15 dice result number is not terrible, but it was off target by 7, and he leaves himself 183 yards from the pin, 235 off the tee. So with 183, we're going to have him shoot a 6-iron. He can go right at the flag here. Remember, trouble left. Those are deep bunkers. He'd have to lob out of those. To the right is the rough. Kind of it'd be hard to stop, but it's not too difficult a shot. And he pitches it over to the right. He misses the green by 15 yards. Right distance, wrong zip code. So he's going to have a pitch from 15. Well, he gets the best chart to pitch from the rough. It's the shortest one, 15 yards to 1 yard away. Let's see where his caddy suggests he plays it. Okay, so this will be his third. If it goes right, it should land on the fairway, and the aim spot is going to be a yard away into the left of the pin. The green slopes towards the hole. Oh, and he can't do much better than that. 6-6, the red 6 and the white 6. That's a perfect roll. So he'll have a tap in to save his par on the first hole. Easy peasy. It goes down as a par, so Jack starts his casual practice round at level par. Right on to the second, which is the 532-yard par 5. His aim point, or the aim point, is 332 towards the end of the dog leg. I think driver will be the play here for Jack. Let's see, there are no additional hazards. There's, as you can tell up in the upper right-hand corner, the yellow kidney bean-shaped bunker. That would be trouble if he really blew his approach shot, but he should be able to get home in 2. I will go with the driver, but I will control it because he could theoretically drive it over the fairway into the rough short of that bunker marked at 150. Perfect dice roll. It's going to go a little bit to the right. Will it stay in the fairway? No. It tilted 14 yards to the right, so he just misses the fairway, but he had 309 on it, got his regular roll, and depending on what kind of lie he gets in the rough, he should be able to get home rather easily in 2. Okay, so 213 from the rough. 4-iron is what the caddy gives him. There's no variation. It's a flat hole. So let's play a knockdown 4 here. The ball will not get a lot of spin, but Nicklaus is a very good long iron player. So a good shot should get this close, within a couple yards. Trouble to the left, and don't forget that larger kidney bean shaped bunker to the right by the red flag. That is a deep bunker. That's where you don't want to go. Water should not be a problem here. And that's perfect. That's perfect. He rolls up about 35 feet for eagle, right on the green. I think he will take that, and so he'll have an eagle putt coming up. Let's look at the putting chart here. 1 would be the easiest, 5 is the hardest, so 4 is a very difficult putt. I assume that he's on the wrong tier for that, so we will lag it. He will try the 2-putt birdie. If I went for it, there's a 3 in 36 chance it goes in, but there's a 4 in 36 chance that he really puts himself out of birdie range. So let's go for the short birdie and lag it in. And that's an exceptional putt. So Nicklaus will be 1 under as soon as he taps in for birdie. Four is great. The first par 3 now, the 177-yard third hole. Today it's playing 181. Let's give you the longer look. The bunkers aren't any trouble. If he misses right, that little crosshatch area could play as a bunker if he puts it in the grass. We'll go with a straight 8-iron here. It's a pretty straightforward hole. And it's short, especially for Sawgrass standards. And he misses it to the right, but it is on the fairway. Pulling his drives to the right here. He won't be happy with that. He'll have 16 yards. I don't know if he'll be able to putt from there or not, or whether he'll choose to pitch. Jack, by the way, won a number of Players Championships, and I believe he won. Don't think he won here at the TPC Stadium course. I know he won one at Sawgrass, but I think that was at the old Sawgrass Club, where they played before Pete Dye creation opened for the 82 TPC. It will give him the option to putt, and so it's always safe to go do that. So we will putt. 48 feet. We'll ignore the putting chart number. I mean, theoretically he could make it, but let's just get this close and save his par. Oh, that was brilliant. Doubles are always a good roll. I'm not quite sure if that would have gone in, because there is some penalty for putting off the green. But he'll take the sure par, that's for sure. So after 3 holes, Jack Nicklaus is 1 under. To the tricky 4th we go. There are mounds to the left here on the drive, that long snaky bunker on the right, and water on your second shot. Now, the flag is in a pretty good position. The water should not come into play for Jack at all. That bunker short, however, of the green might, and those 2 bunkers left will catch anything that goes long. And since they're all yellow bunkers, they will be deep bunkers, requiring a trickier shot to get it close. I think we're going to go with a 3-iron here for Jack. It will put him past the target mark, but he should be all right. If we can keep it within 135, 140, then he will have a full shot. If we get it under 125, he'll have a wedge shot. That seems to be the dice roll of the day for him. A red 5 and a green and a blue and a white 6. Yeah, I know my colors. But this time it doesn't have any movement on it, left or right, so it's right in the middle of the fairway. And even though it was short by his standards, 228, 157, so he's going to have a full 9-iron to the hole, which I think is probably a safer shot than playing with the wedges. No chance the water comes into play. The only question is, will he hit it long enough to avoid that bunker? So he'll go right at it. Really no reason not to. There's no wind. And he misses that one to the right. It was a good shot, 4 yards, and so he will be pitching out of the rough. Hasn't been the straightest of iron shots so far for Jack, but it hasn't really come back to hurt him, and this should not be a difficult chip. So as he looks at it, and as his caddy looks at it, the green kind of slopes towards the hole. He's on the right tier. It should be a relatively easy pitch. He's on the best pitching chart from the shorter wedge shots. And so, here we go. Levels are good. He had a great shot, and he should have only a couple of feet left to tap in for a good par in the 4th. It was 3 feet, and it was 3 feet well judged. So after 4 holes, Jack Nicklaus is 1 under. To the par 4, long par 4, 5th, 471 on the card. The aim point, as you see, is almost by the bunker, 323 yards away. Water right, water long, and a thick rough to the left. If you miss the fairway, there's a long bunker on the right. And if you hit the edge of the fairway, it'll spin back towards the middle. We are not going to go with the driver here. The prudent play is a 3-wood, and that's what he'll go with. 275 is the yardage. You see what a 27 is on the screen. It's about where a good drive would go. Don't be surprised, though. He's been pulling his shots to the right, whether that could be in the bunker, which would make par a very good score. That's a great shot. That is an absolutely wonderful shot. 5-1 is the best. Get you a 1, which is the best rolls. Lower numbers on these cards. Let's take a second to explain the cards. There are 3 columns. A wood, which is anything from your driver or 1 wood down to a 4-iron. The iron column is the I column on the second. That goes from your 5-iron down to your full wedge shots. And the P is for putter. That's what you read for the dice rolls on the green. So 1 is absolutely a beautiful number to have. So he's going to have 183 after 280-yard drive with his 3-wood. And so, let's see. He's kind of between clubs here. 7-iron should go 190, and 8-iron would leave it short. So what we're going to do is split the difference and play a knockdown 7 and go right at this. I don't think there's any real harm in going for this pin. I'll put this up again. There are no deep bunkers, so it's a standard bunker shot if he misses. And he misses it to the right, where he has missed every shot today with a dice roll of with a dice result number of a 13. So that's going to be an interesting pitch now, isn't it? Fortunately, okay, so the aim point is going to be about a yard beyond and left of the pin. Fortunately, it slopes back down to him to a degree, but the green goes downhill towards him, but it slopes towards the front of the green. So let's see what Jack can do here. Plays it above the hole, Stops it within 5 feet, and he should have a par putt, an easy par putt here on the 5th. Was 4 feet, but it's a putting chart 4, so this is not a gimme. He has out of the 36 chances that you can roll with these dice, 31 of them say it's a putt that goes in, so not certain. But when you roll a double 6, that's absolutely perfect. So par for Jack here at the 5th, and we go to the 6th with him, 1 under par. Here at the 6th hole, a wide driving hole. The ideal landing target is 300 yards from the tee, 83 yards for a second. It's flat. You can see on that bunker on the fairway on the left, that kind of looks like a glove. You want to stay out of that yellow stuff. And there is that one tiny bunker in front of the green that could be trouble. That's a yellow. Jack is probably good enough with this. Also, all sorts of tree trouble on the right. I think we're going to go with a controlled drive here. He's got plenty of room if he can hit it straight. That's been the big issue so far for him in this round. So, he's got the driver in his hand. He's not going to hit too long. There's a long drive chart if you can read on the chart on the upper right there. If he rolls a dice result number of a 12, then it goes to that long drive chart, and that can be a 350-yard drives, which can be very advantageous on the longer holes, but can get you in a wee bit of trouble. You can certainly drive it over the fairway, which is not what you want. The crowd cheer tells you he did well, and boy, he's out long. 297. Got the full roll, got a good drive, and it was straight as an arrow. So he only has 87 yards left for his second. Okay, so the bunker shouldn't be there. Shouldn't be a problem with such a short pitch. The green slopes from back to front, kind of straight. I don't think there's anything real tricky with this shot. So the aim point, the caddy says a yard to the left of the pin should be just fine. And he misses it to a yard to the right and a yard short, and he has pretty much I wouldn't say a tap-in birdie, but a very good birdie chance here on 6. Now 4 feet's pretty good. Putting chart 2, so he's a 32 out of 36 chance of making this putt. And he does easily. A 4-2 is a great roll. That gives you a dice result number of a 10. And so, a third of the way through his round, Jack Nicklaus is 2 under par. The tricky 7th here. There's water and sand on the left side. There's rough on the right. There are trees if you really miss past the cart path. And a second shot that's very much surrounded by sand. The pin is in a good spot, kind of in the back, kind of aimable. You know, you would go after that if you put a good shot in the fairway. From the caddy view, there's no real tricks. If you miss the green along with the approach, it will roll. That's what those arrows by the pin mean. Again, you don't want to go too long here, but I think driver is the play. This is a long hole at 442. Today, it is playing 449 based on where the computer's aiming point is. And he's going to drive it through the fairway. Kind of unfortunate. He got the best the longest dice roll, and it just faded about 5 yards from where he wanted it to go, and it's rolled right off. So he'll have 133 for a second. It should not be a difficult shot. It just won't get a lot of spin. But it's considered a missed fairway, and he will be a touch upset with himself. But if he went with a 3-wood, he'd be looking at a 170, 175 for a second. So we'll see if yardage and rough is a good trade from fairway and hitting it with a wedge as opposed to the 7 or 8 iron he's going to have, or he would have had. Really, I'm okay. So pitching wedge is when he's going to have it. Should go 135. We won't change anything of it. Really no damage either way. If he misses left or right, he'd have to miss way right to miss the green. So as long as he can put it on the green, he should be good. And he hit it long, and it rolled back. One of the unfortunate things, he hit it too solid. He got too much ball out of the grass, and so he's not going to have a little tricky 12-yard chip up the hill towards the green. Jack has not hit a ton of greens today, has he? Oh boy, look at this. Alright, so the ideal landing spot for the ball will be just on the green, but with the way the putting surface slopes sharply from right to left and down the hill, he's going to have a hard time stopping this close. The aim point is 3 yards from the pin, so he's got to be very careful here. That's pretty careful. The chart says 0-0, and so he has a tap in for his par on a beautiful shot. Jack did not have the world's best short game, but you certainly wouldn't know it today. He has scrambled and scrambled well, and momentarily will be 2 under through 7. To the 8th we go, the 219-yard par 3. Looks like a necklace made of pearls here, but that pin position, the red one, is quite accessible. 221 yards. His 5 iron gives him 220. It is flat. I'll put back the caddy overlay for a second. You can see that one bunker up there about 1 o'clock. If you were doing an analog, would be the one bunker that he does not want to put in. Everything else should be fine. He'll take that. He'll take that. Nice result number 4 on the dice roll of a 4-3. Straight, because it was going up the hill. He didn't get the roll that he would normally like. So he's going to have about 25 feet for birdie. 23 feet to be exact. Now here we go. We haven't had one of these yet today. The putting chart number 2 is over 20 feet with this game. You have a chance to lag it up. I believe we've just done that because it was the easiest thing. But now Jack is going to have a decision to make here. He can go for this and have a 5 in 36 chance of making the putt, or lag it and have a 3 in 36 chance. The penalty for being too aggressive is that there's a 1 chance, the dreaded 2-4 dice roll. It could go 7 to 9 feet past and make par almost difficult, or almost impossible. I think we're going to go for this and see if we can get it to 3 under. They gave it a good run. The dice result number 20 is certainly fine, well within the margin of error, and so he'll have a tap in for par here on 8 to stay 2 under par. To the par 5 9th we go. This is on a windy day makeable or drivable into, but today, no. You can see from the aim point here, gives him 302 with 281 to go. So on paper, it's playing 583, just what the card says. No really tricky added foibles off the tee. And when we get to the approach shot, if he hits that bunker left or long of the green, that would be a tricky shot. The thing is, that water is definitely in play, especially if he misses to the right. So since we have to lay up, we're going to play safe and go with the 3-wood and hopefully just take that water out of play to set him up for a good approach shot. Because, as we said, he is not getting home in 2. And he hits an absolutely perfect 3-wood. Moves about 5 yards off the target from the center of the fairway, but he will take it. 268 yards. We're not worried about how much he has left, but he is safe, he is dry, and he is in position to pretty much set up whatever approach shot he wants. We're going to even right before the fairway thins down there to give him as much room as possible to get in. So we're looking at that. That tells us that we have 259 yards to his target, which would lead us 59 from the pin. So we're gonna go with a 3-iron here. We'll leave a little shorter than that. I think a 2 that he overhits could potentially get in that rough, and we don't want to do that. We want a good shot to stay in the fairway. So we're gonna play this one with a 3-iron. And that should give him, about 70 yards, between 60 and 80 yards for his 3rd. Well, it went a little bit right of the target by about 10 yards, but it's still a very good shot. 246, good roll, and so he's going to have 75. A nice wedge shot into the green to hopefully set up a birdie putt and make the turn at 3 under. So, wow, there's some serious pitch on the middle of the right of that green towards the bunker. But the bunkers shouldn't be a problem. The target is right at the pin. And once he hits it over that knob, he could get this really close. So, no real problem for a player of Jack's caliber. Just like that. So, a little couple yards long and about a yard wide. He should be about within 5 feet for a birdie. On the number 5 feet. So, from putting chart 2, this is makeable. This isn't a gimme, but it's not. We should not be 3-putting from 5 feet. And we don't. We don't. So Jack goes out in 3 under. We've played 9 holes. Now, while you look at the numbers, I will take a drink. He's not hit a ton of fairways, 57.1%. But he really hasn't hit a lot of greens, which means I haven't really played all that well for him. He's hit 4 of the 9. He's missed 5. The good news is Jack has putted well. 11 putts through 9 holes. That's spectacular golf. And as we get ready to start the back 9, he is 3 under par. The 10th hole here, 424, yard par 4, is designed a lot like the first hole. So the reason why they did that was that you could start people off the first and 10th tees and place a similar, and they would play a similar hole to start their rounds. The aim point is to the right of the fairway at 298. We're not going to go with the driver. We're going to go with a 3-wood here just to put the ball in play. Left there's sand. Water should not come into play. So if you take a look at the 25 yards, he should have about 150, I believe, with a good tee shot with a 3-wood. that's exactly what it was. Didn't hit it as long as I thought he would. It was 10 yards right to where he was aiming, but it's a good shot. He is 154 and went 265 off the tee, and he is safe. I don't think we left this up long enough, or I didn't leave it up long enough the first time. You see no yellow on that screen, so if he misses the green to the right, that bunker is just a regular bunker shot. It's very thin towards the front, so short is not very good. Do we go with a regular 9, or do we knock it down? I think we're going to go with a regular 9-iron and see if his distance control works in. He'll have some help with the green. Putting a stop on the ball. It should have some pretty good spin here. Yep, it's gone back just a touch. And so he's going to have about 18 feet for birdie to go to 4 under. Nice way to start the backside, right in the center of the green. You're not going to be able to argue that, and the 2-putt is just fine. 18 feet on the number on putting chart 2, so with if you look at the in up in the upper right, he has an 8 in 36 chance, a little less than 25%. Not a problem. Not a problem. This should be an easy 2-putt par. Oh, wow. The dice, as you see, is a 6-4, and if you can't read the chart, that comes out to a 13. 1 foot. That almost went in. What a nice putt. So Jack starts his backside with a tap-in par to stay at 3 under. To the always tantalizing par 5 11th, 558 on the chart, on the scorecard. Trying to do some quick math here. It's about a little shorter than that. This is one of those holes that you can let it rip, and you have some decisions coming up on the second. So we won't look at the caddy chart until after the tee. We're just going to bomb this as far as we can. It won't go 364, but he will have some options, which we'll explain after the tee shot. That's provided he puts it in play. Well, cheers are always a good thing. So he's going to have 255. He got, if you can see that 6-5 was the dice roll, the red and the white, which says 3W. And it was unlucky, so it went down to 15. It was left 20, so it took some of the distance off. But he lost a lot of the complete distance. So he'll have a go at this, but let's take a look. A 2-iron should get him home. That long bunker is not difficult to hit out of, and as you can see from that little hole up in the corner, I'll put that where the target is, where the pin is, that is extremely tight. That will be very hard to hit, even if we use the 2-iron to go there. There is sand to the left, sand to the right. Water should not come into play unless he completely botches it. There is the safety of the fairway if I wanted to go that way with him, because those bunkers on the left, as you see, are yellow and are very difficult to hit out of. He didn't hit it as hard as I thought he was going to do, and so I may actually lay up and just let him go for that second fairway on the split, the one on the left. That was a dicey enough tee shot, dicey enough second shot that you could really put 6 into play if he puts it in the water. So let's not. He really has no chance for eagle. So 237 is the yardage, and so that says we go with the 4-iron, and that's what we're going to hit. And that's why we didn't go for the green. 10 yards to the right of where he was aiming. gives him 24 yards to the pin. This may be a lob shot to try to get it on. The lob shot will travel 90% to the hole and then 10% roll, while the pitch shots that you've seen are 60-40. They go 60% in the air and 40 there. I think the bunker or the rough would come into play if we played a regular pitch. 24 yards is not a bad distance. Yeah, he will not be able to land it on. A pitch would fall short. It would be in the rough, and that's dead. So we select a lob, and we hope for the best. Yep. That's actually not as good as he would like. Again, it's a lot of 15s on those dice result numbers for him today. But he is under 10 feet for birdie, which would get him to 4 under. Lob shot, think of like a Phil Mickelson flop. Very high in the air and very soft when it lands. It won't go very far. 9 feet on putting chart 2. The computer says his chances are just about 50-50. Let's see if it's right. Oh, a perfect putt. A dice result number of 1 on the double threes, and Jack Nicklaus is 4 under par through 11 holes at Sawgrass. To the short 358-yard par 4 12th. There is trouble to the right, trees and sand. The left, there's grass bunkers and thick rough. And the course is flat, and that pin is to on the back of the green. So it's a question of where he wants to leave it. The caddy gives him a 3-wood. I think that's a safe play. I think a 3-wood is fine here, so that's what we'll go with. There we go. There's the crowd. Hits it long. Hits it relatively straight. Left is good here, and he pops a 279. He'll have an 80-yard wedge shot coming in to set him up for another birdie. Well, with a wedgeness, boy, that pin is precarious on a slope that goes away and downhill. Oh boy, that'd be a hard green to hit in. So I'm glad I'm hitting into it as a wedge shot and not a full shot. The aim point, a yard away. I believe that's pretty much pinned high a yard to the left. So goes a little bit left and long of where he was aiming for, but he's on the green. It'll be a very tough downhill putt, but it should be straight down the hill. Hey, a birdie chance nonetheless. And the distance control that he did not have in the first 9 has been found in the second 9 so far. 11 feet. Putting chart 2 is not too difficult. As we said earlier, 1 is the easiest, 5 is the most difficult. Very difficult to score when you're on a 5 chart because the ball could pretty much end up anywhere. So 11 feet straight down the hill for Jack to get to 5 under. Yep, 5-1 is the roll, and it gets you a dice result number of 10, which is lower than 12. So it's a birdie and a good one for Jack, and he's made 2 straight. 5 under through 12. $181-yard par 3. Water if you miss left, sand if you miss short. Players of this caliber and this weather, this shouldn't be a factor. We'll just go straight at it. That little bunker to the fronting the green, the left of the fairway, in the yellow would be where he'd have to hit a lob shot. He should be about 5 yards short. In weather, this is a much tougher shot if there was any wind, but the conditions are calm. And the pitch is actually down towards the hole, so he's going to have about 10-12 feet for a birdie to give him 3 straight. Really hitting it straight now. $10 feet, easiest putting chart, 50-50 chance from here. He is liking where his game is going. No muss, no fuss, no drifts, no errors. Another birdie for Nicklaus. He's birdied the last 3 holes and is now 6 under on his round through 13. To the difficult par 4 14th. On the card it plays 467. Judging by from where the aim point is, it's 465, so that's really here nor there. You really can't go too long with the driver. Driver is the ideal play. Grass bunkers on the right, sand and water on the left. So with the driver, water is in play. We'll leave this up for a second, and there's really nothing too horrible. We said the grass bunker is on the right, and there are some grass bunkers by the green. That pin is cut on the left side. We may not be able to go for that. So we're going to go for a controlled drive here and hope that he can hit it straight. No cheering. That's never good. He missed it right. Missed it right. Drove it 20 yards from the target line. It's 176 from the rough. I think that's just a straight rough. Boy, this is going to be tough because that fairway is awful narrow. He has a good lie. There are such things as bad lies in this game. We're not going to aim it at the pin because there's just too much of a chance that could end up there. So we're going to aim it about 5 yards to the right and see what Mother Nature does with this ball. So 6 yards from the pin, center of the green. If he hits it straight, great. If it goes to the left, it could be by the pin. I'd much rather be in those bunkers on the right than I would on the left. And that's absolutely fine. Got a good solid contact with it. Went on target. Green actually slowed it down, which is kind of a surprise because you don't get the spin out of the rough that you do from the fairway. And so he's going to, has a lengthy 2-putt coming up, but it should be a 2-putt nonetheless. 40 feet for Jack. Putting chart 3. We'll ignore it. We're just going to lag this up. We're not going to go for it. And he reads it very well. If we had gone for it, would have gone in. Boy, his putter is really on fire right now. Tap in par coming for Jack from the rough on the 14th to stay 6 under par. Now, normally that is a bad dice roll. You never want to see a red 2 and a white 4 together. But his putting short putt rating is 2, according to his card. So the game secretly rolls another dice to see if he would have missed that. But it certainly was possible, and that really would have angered anyone to miss a short 2 putter. But he doesn't, so he remains at 6 under through 14. This is a tease of a hole. Split fairway, sand on the right, trees to the left. Water will not come into play off the tee. It's flat, as most of Florida is. There's no deep bunkers to worry about. And as you can see from the arrows up by the green, anything missing short will roll back. He really can't go too long here. I think we'll go with a driver, but make it a controlled one so he can't go 350. A good drive should make it to the end of that first of the bottom half of the split fairway. Right will be sand, left will be trees. You get an applause off the tee, you've done something right. And boy, Jack just hits it just absolutely square in the pants. 301, 155 yards left. 10 yards of the center line of the aim, but he'll take that. Actually, it might leave him a better angle to the pin. That pin is in the back right. He should be able to go for it. He'll be happy with that. .154. So he'll hit a knockdown 9-iron, because if you can see, Jack's 9-iron should go about 160, and that would be long. We want to keep this one on the green. Oh, all over the flag. Jack is feeling it now. Jack is feeling it now. About 5 feet for birdie to go to 7 under par. Oh, ooh, 5-2. That is one of the worst dice rolls you can get. He had a 29 out of 36 chance, and the dice result number was a 33. So, kind of a twitch of the head and an eye roll there. But as he comes to the last 3 holes, he's still going to be 6 under par. To the very deceiving 16th hole, which is the ultimate in risk-reward golf. If you've watched the Players' Championship, you know what's coming. You can see the 17th green from here, the island green. So the thing is just to put it in play, because the second shot water is going to be in play on your right. The key is to put it in the fairway. I like the idea of a 3-wood here. We don't need to go too long. Applause is always good. And yeah, 266 off the tee. However, he's going to have a long second shot. I mean, nothing wrong with a tee shot whatsoever, but he has 252. And remember, water is a play to the right. Here's one of these things as it now comes up for you. There's some grass bunkers on the left. Nothing in the sand that would be there. Water is the main thing. We got to hit it long enough. So we're going to go with a 3-iron. Remember, dice don't understand, cards and dice don't understand pressure. Because if you're looking at this going, this is going to travel over some serious water, it really doesn't matter for the cards. It's just on the dice roll. One of those, we'll get into it more on the 17th. Because the 17th in this, playing this way, is nowhere near as visually intimidating as it is if you were actually standing on the 17th tee. He misses it to the right and sinks it. Oh my goodness gracious. We're going to re-hit that, because a drop would be in the rough and you're not necessarily going to get a good drop. Wow. So we'll do it again, and we'll go with the 3-iron here. He just hit it fat and pushed it to the right. That's the ideal shot. He'll have that for par, about 30 feet. But oh man, wow, it's risk-reward golf, and he took the bait and got fished. 25 feet for par. You look at the putting chart. If he goes forward, he's got a 5 in 36 chance. If he lags, it's 3 in 36. We're going to go for this and see if he can salvage a par from the water. That'd be pretty remarkable. And he does! How about that? That's result number 3 on the double fours. And Jack saves par on 16 to stay 6 under par to go to the evil and nasty Island 17th. There's no wind. You could just tell from here where if you were standing there how just evil the shot is. But from the air, it really doesn't look that bad. If you just hit the right wedge, and we're going to go with the sand wedge here, there's no wind. You just kind of hope that you hit it right at it. As you can see, it's flat. If he does put it in that bunker to the right, it's not a difficult bunker shot, but water everywhere and not a drop to drink. Good number. Spins a bit away from the pin, but he's safely on. That is an absolutely drop-dead gorgeous shot. Probably 5 yards too hard. But he'll take it. It's dry, and he'll have 15 feet for birdie. Make that 13 feet. With the number 2 putting chart, so 12 and 36. A 33% chance of making this one, and this would be stealing. No, but not bad. Not bad. The 1-3 was a 13, so he just missed it. So you can, the putter kind of flies up in the air a little bit and as he looks at his caddy. But it's a par, and you will walk out of here with a 3 8 days out of 7. This, in my opinion, is a tougher hole than the 17th. You have water all the way down the line. On your tee shot, on your second shot, and if you miss, especially if you miss right, water could potentially be there in a pitch. I'm not going to hit a driver here. It'll be a 3-wood. The aiming point is fine, but I don't want to. He is too long with his normal driver to go for that, and you really don't want it in the rough. Bad news, he's going to have about 200 yards left, which is about a 6-iron, and he's in between clubs, between a 5 and a 6. The distance is 20 yards. Got away with him going 6-5 is not usually a good dice roll number. He gets the good modifier, and he has 200 yards left after a 270-yard drive. Center of the fairway, which is not where he was aiming at, but it went 5 yards left of the intended target, and that works. You can go right at this. Obvious here that the trouble on the left is the water. Bleachers on the right. Bunkers aren't really much of a problem. Just get home and 2-putt and be very happy. He's looking at a 666 with the par here. He'll take that. He'll take that. Hit a little thick. Didn't get the distance he wanted to on it. 5 yards to the left, but he's on the putting surface. 2 putts for a par. We're not going to be greedy here. We will take the par. So a lag from 34. There's some chance it can go in, but he's not looking forward to it. You just take your par and run here. Beautiful lag. Leaving him a tap in for par, which it does. So Jack Nicklaus shoots a 6 under 66. And let's review the round. played a lot better in the second nine. He jumped his fairway percentage up to 71.4, hit 2/3 of the greens, 25 putts of 14 coming home. I don't believe we hit one out of the sand. So he has no sand save percentage. He had the 3 good birdies in a row on 11, 12, and 13. I don't believe we had really any serious trouble that would have put him to make anything worse than par in ideal scoring conditions. 6 under 66 is a beautiful round of golf. And so that's our trial. Jack Nicklaus with a 6 under 66 at Sawgrass. And we'll talk to you later.